Annabelle too, I don't believe in cursed objects.
At least.
I didn't till last month. It's been 3 weeks and I still haven't been back to my apartment. Every time I close my eyes, I see her. It started the night I came home from work, just after 11 p.m. The hallway outside my apartment was unusually quiet, too quiet. Normally I'd hear a neighbor's TV or a muffled conversation. But that night, it felt like the air itself was holding its breath. I slid my key into the lock, stepped inside, and instantly noticed the smell. Old, musty wood and faint cigarette smoke like my grandmother's house when I was a kid. But I live alone, in a modern building. I dropped my bag, flipped on the light, and froze. Sitting in the middle of my living room floor was a doll. Not a modern toy, this was an old-fashioned porcelain-faced thing. Long brown hair, pale cracked skin, a faded blue dress with yellowing lace, and her eyes. They weren't the flat painted kind, they were glass, clear, almost wet-looking. They were staring directly at the front door, me. My first thought was that someone had broken in. I checked the windows, the balcony, even the bathroom. Nothing. No sign of forced entry. I told myself it was some kind of prank, maybe one of my friends had a spare key. I picked the doll up, placed it on my coffee table, and tried to shake it off. That night, I barely slept. Every time I started drifting off, I thought I heard soft creaks like footsteps moving slowly across my living room floor. The next morning, the doll was no longer on my coffee table. It was sitting upright in the middle of my kitchen counter. I stood there for a full minute, heart pounding. I live alone. I lock my doors. There's no way it could have moved. I picked it up and, without thinking, shoved it in the hall closet. I even locked the closet door with the small latch at the top. I told myself I was being paranoid. But over the next few days, things started happening that I couldn't explain. My bedroom door would be open in the morning when I was sure I declosed it before bed. The TV would turn on by itself at 3 a.m., blasting static, and I'd wake up to that smell again, musty wood and faint smoke lingering in the air. On the 4th night, I heard it. I woke to the sound of something dragging across the floor. Not fast, slow, deliberate, like someone pulling heavy fabric along the wood. Then a faint tap, 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 as if tiny hard feet were moving toward my bedroom door. I didn't move. I barely breathed. I kept telling myself I was dreaming. Then, silence. The next morning, the closet door latch was broken, and the doll was sitting on my nightstand, its glass eyes inches from my face. That's when I called my friend Mark. I told him everything, laughing it off like it was some weird joke, but my voice was shaking. He came over that afternoon and swore he didn't put the doll there. He even suggested I throw it out, so we did. We walked it down to the dumpster, tossed it in, and went back upstairs. That night, I slept better until about 4 a.m., when the smell woke me up again. I rolled over and saw it, sitting in the corner of my bedroom. The doll, the exact same one. I didn't sleep at all after that. I sat on my bed with every light in the apartment on, watching it, half expecting it to move. But it just sat there, head slightly tilted, eyes glinting in the light. By morning, I'd decided to do something stupid. I went online and searched for porcelain doll haunting and Annabelle. I'd heard the name before. Something about a cursed doll locked away in a museum. The real Annabelle didn't look like mine, but the stories were the same objects moving on their own. Strange smells, bad luck. I started wondering if my doll was connected somehow. That evening, I set up my phone to record video while I slept, left the doll in the corner facing my bed. The next morning, I played back the footage. For the first hour, nothing happened. I could see myself shifting in my sleep, breathing steadily. Then, at 2:47 a.m., the doll's head turned, slowly, deliberately, until it was looking directly at the camera. I almost dropped my phone. At 3:12 a.m., it moved against his arm, twitched, then bent slightly. And then at 3:15, it wasn't in the frame anymore, just gone. I fast-forwarded. At 3:19, I could see some thing crawling onto my bed from the side, low to the mattress. The shape was small, pale, and human-like, but wrong. The limbs were too thin, the fingers too long. And the head. The head was the doll's. I stopped the video. I couldn't watch anymore. I packed a bag and left. I didn't even take my wallet. I went straight to Mark's place and told him everything. He didn't believe me until I showed him the video. We went back to my apartment together that afternoon. The doll was gone. Everything looked exactly the way I'd left it, except for one thing. On my pillow was a scrap of paper. On it, in shaky, childlike handwriting, were 3 words: "Let me stay." I haven't been back since. My landlord says there's nothing in the apartment. But every few nights, I wake up to that smell again. And 2 days ago, when I came home to Mark's place after work, there was a package sitting on the doorstep. No return address. I opened it. Inside was the doll.